Good morning. What's up, Rex? How you doing? Long time no talk. What's up, Viking? I wish we would get some rain. We're dry right now. We are dry. I just don't have a really good way to camera shit right now. Like, these bags are kind of awkward that I'm running right now. So I've switched up a few things. I haven't really been live that often, Rex, so you haven't missed much. I've completely switched up my my worm system. That is my worm system right here now. Two big totes, which is probably going to go to 3, maybe 4 very quickly. We have had 0 rain down here, and it's dry. I mean, all my trees are irrigated, all my fruit trees, like, everything's irrigated, but it's dry. The grass is feeling it. I don't really cut grass this time of year. I just let it grow, go to seed, and just kind of do its thing. I'm trying to seed out the property by by nature. It's my pit bull, just guarded. So yeah, I have changed my system. I don't have one bin going in here right now. Not to say I won't have some bins going on in here, but there are no bins. And I'm relieved, honestly. I went from maybe, let's say, a couple hours a week to now handling these bags, which I'm in an unair-conditioned building on this side, but it's nice fan blowing, moving air. The door is normally shut. The cats go inside when it starts to heat up. It's cool right now. But really, right now, this is, yeah, I'm still growing out my beard. Can't cut, dude, my hair's getting long. Everything's getting long. I have fucking hair everywhere. My hat's falling off from working out. Yeah, the beard's not going anywhere. One day it'll be illegal to have a beard, so I'm just going to keep growing it. And it doesn't really get that much longer. It just kind of like fills in like a bird's nest. So, but anyway, I'm still using trash bags. This is pretty thick. It's to about here, right? Hopefully, I mean, I put all the worms between the two. This was like everything sifted out bulk. There are a lot of worms in here. I think Captain Matt is achieving a bag of this. I don't know what it actually weighs. I don't know if he's actually weighed one. I haven't looked any further, but he's doing 10,000 worms maybe, and a 5-gallon bucket once a week, and I'm doing it with all my worms. So I have like 100K in there, or more even at this point. It's crazy because like this was all eggs and stuff. There were some leftover worms, and this thing's completely filled. I just threw over and I didn't even I just put these here from the other one to speed up this one. I'm gonna keep doing that daily. That's way bigger. That's a slip through my screen when I'm putting it in here. But yeah, I just put all these guys in here. If I start digging down on either one of these, look at this. These are all born. A lot of these were born in here. These are all the eggs. Just filled. This is, again, this is a nursery to a certain degree is what I'm running it as. I'm going to go through. So another thing that you may not have heard since you haven't been on lives is that I don't have a pure population of pure population of worms. So there's definitely blues and red wigglers. I ordered red wigglers from Uncle Jim's, and he sent me that's the only person I've ever got worms from, and that's kind of later. Rex, have a good day, man. Be productive. All right, no one's going to give you anything. Just put some work in on anything that you want to do. Be happy. So yeah, 1 ton. Yeah, this is what these are. Yeah, so I've had this like epiphany that like instead of trying to sell worms, which that's just a byproduct of trying to produce a lot of castings as far as I'm concerned, and I'm going to run them a little differently than other people do, but essentially start thinking about it by the ton. So I could bump this to almost 10,000 pounds with 2 more bags. So we start talking about tonnage. You get 50 of these bags going, maybe with pallet racks, with a basic electric forklift, be able to run 50 bags doing 100 something thousand pounds very quickly. Yes, you might have a mix too. And I never, I always thought there were just different types of, mixed in with the worms, that they would, at different stages, maybe, that they look differently. So I never paid any attention to it. But really, when you look into it, they're definitely a mix. And there's a problem to selling them at certain parts of the world if you're going to sell them as a mix to a certain degree. Yeah, Uncle Jim, the uncle that you don't want to go hang out with. So this is my bulk one, and again, I just took a shit ton over there, but look at this. It's crazy. My hand, I don't want to rip them. It's so wild how many worms are in here right now, and they're not just at the top level. They're all the way throughout the whole. They go deeper because there's still layers. They're all the way through. They're all finding their place. Now, it does get cooler as you go down, so I think they're going down later in the day. Right now it's nice, and I just fed and watered them, but there's just worms throughout this whole bag. So that's funny that you said that, because I don't have any worms escaping. I don't think they can climb this vertically, with all these bumps and stuff like that. So I don't think any worms. I'm not seeing any worms on the ground, so nothing's escaping. What's cool is that even with a larger bin setup, is that the water was, even if you really regulated the water into it, it was staying at the bottom. When you're starting to use a hose, I'm using an actual hose to wet these, I get some seepage, right? Which is fine. I'm in an unair conditioned, it's just a concrete floor. Maybe one day I'll set a drain up closer to a door so a forklift can come in from outside and grab them, and who knows what I'll do. But so yes, they're completely breathable. So I think that's the key. As long as you're going to water them a little bit, and this is my shop. This is going on the way to my machine shop. Right here is my machine shop. So it's very easy for me to touch them. And I went from dealing with 2 bins, essentially, no different really, from 80 bins at sometimes to 2 bins. The fabric, these are genius. If you have the space and the, I have a pallet jack. I've had a pallet jack for 4 years now. I use it to move big machines, right? I got that for $75, and I've probably moved 20 machines that weigh a couple thousand pounds with it. That thing right there, an engine hoist actually works better for that. Which again, I have an engine hoist. So I might even be able to load a bag onto certain things with that. That's interesting. Didn't even think about that. But yeah, the fabric bags are superior to a plastic bin, I would say, because they are breathable. As long as you're going to regulate I'm regulating temperature a little bit with the water. It seems when I give them a nice cool splash, they can take this higher temp room. So yeah, so really they are that top 3 inches everybody says where they live. I mean, it's not. They live throughout right here. And I mean, they have tunnel systems and everything. And the wood chips that I use really help with that. It's structural to a certain degree. They can kind of move around a little better. But I mean, it's just I don't want to bury a bunch if I don't need to. But look at that. There's it. So I'd say they're happy worms. Down here in Florida, the blues and the red mix isn't that big of a deal. So essentially, I'm going to separate. What I'm going to do is I'm probably going to run maybe 10 bins, maybe a little less, and for just red wigglers. So it's just covered. I got to give them a papaya. I just figured I'd show everybody what was going on with the worms. Look, this is just a whole different section. I mean, there might be 4 inches. There's some papaya that they were eating on. I got the wigglers. You see those tiger tails in there? It's probably more red wigglers than blues, but there are definitely some blues in here. So you got to be careful selling them like that, Viking. That is chicken feed I just threw in here. I'm kind of reversing it. I started feeding them. I was just going to do a quick feed and water. I got a papaya over there that I just half and put one on each half or one on each side. And I was like, you know what? I'll just pop it on and just show everybody what's going on with a few different things. So I was working out. I got the dog out here. I got the kittens out here. They're normally allowed out here all night long in the big side, and then during the day in the heat of it, they kind of go in the shop, my air conditioned side. But yeah, that's chicken feed mixed with 8 other amendments that I use on not a daily feed at this point, but every couple days, which I could just put more in there, but I don't have any bugs or gnats or anything like that in here. So, and I've never had that problem really. So they're a little pissed now, but they'll get over it. I mean, they're just everything. So I just need to go through, separate some bins, take the time, and yeah. And the way I'll get them out of this bin is I'll just keep taking them out, putting them into another bag, start fresh, and just keep feeding minimal. So I think these are going to go faster. I don't know how to figure out the weight system though. Yeah, this stuff is great though. They're chowing through these buckets. I got 3 buckets over there filled with fresh, saturated compost from my quail aviary. Thanks. You're in Florida. Where in Florida are you at? Yeah, gnats. They're gonna come if you're giving them food scraps and stuff like that. That's inevitable. Some people are using dunks, which is like something you can order off Amazon, and then you soak them. They break down into water, and then you spray. Some people are doing that. I don't have gnat problems at all. I do feed them a papaya, but I feed them only what I know they can eat in a reasonable amount of time. So half a papaya will last almost a week with the regular feeding, so I'm not overfeeding them. And that's where a lot of that stuff comes from, is an overfeed. Oh, so you're right above me. That's cool. I'm right outside Sarasota. Very cool. So you got one bin going? Very cool. It's good to see people getting a bin going. I have 2.5 years now experience with them, and it's the evolution to not only keep them happy and producing, but also at whatever level you want to do this business, just very doable. You know, it's not in the way. Those 80 bins were in the way. Unless you're making a ton of money flipping them and burning and turning them, that's a whole different story. But if you're sitting on 80 bins that you're doing and you're not selling, rethink how you're doing it. What's up, dude? Hey. Nice. Very nice. Well, if you have any, if you need any advice or anything like that, maybe you can give me some advice. HuntersWorms.com, you can message me through there. I only say that because there's no way for you to message me through here. How you doing, DNA? I got my worm bin set up. I think I showed you these last week. All my worms are in these 2 bags right now, and they're loving it. In an unair-conditioned Florida metal building. What's up, Vincent? This is what America looks like. Down here in America, we a bunch of outlaws. We got pit bulls and guns. I got sacks of shit. You didn't miss anything other than me playing with the worms and kind of just explaining what I'm doing with it. Yeah, we are. Every country has their flaws, you know, and most of the flaws are within government. See this DNA? It's like a ghost town in here. I don't even know. I'm gonna probably run what I was saying earlier. Probably gonna go. I'm gonna go through this. The majority of the worms in there are red wigglers, but I've come to grips that there are a mix of blues in there, so I'm no longer selling them until I separate them. I'm just kind of using them now to produce a shit ton of castings. So they've all been consolidated into those bags. I could probably split the one bag into 4 or 5 more bags, which I have 2 more coming. So I'm going to bump to, and this is something maybe for Vincent to look at it too, is that I'm going to start thinking about castings. Like worms are for sale, always will be, but I'm going to start thinking about castings as the main back to it, which and start growing it by the ton. I think that if we're going to do, if the biology is that main aspect that we're trying to spread and not trying to make everybody's life more consuming, like you don't need to grow worms. I'll grow them for you. You're just going to need this product to spread the biology and do it regularly, and you'll have the benefits of it without having the extra work. So I'm going to, like 50 bags, that's 50 tons, Vincent, 100 something thousand pounds. That's how we need to start thinking. You got an old barn. Right now, the summer's just started. It's not turned up completely, but right now with misting, it seems like it's working pretty good. I may have to figure out a full-on automated misting system to do it, which I have everything for it. I have the controller. I have everything. Yeah, the country, yeah, the government is. I mean, we got 3. We got all the big ones. We got Canada, Australia, and we have the United States. All of these governments are tyrannical. They are all they are operating in such an area that I don't know if they can come back from it. And honestly, it's insanity the way they're treating the people that put them in play. They're all liars, thieves, scumbags, and anybody that wants to be in power that thinks they're deserving of being the government shouldn't be government. I know you do, but I bet you have a barn. I think you should bump up production and start getting these back. Like a farmer might want to buy it from me more by the sack. I think that's a good way to look at it, selling it by the sack. And obviously you need a little bit of space to do it, but it really speeds up. It takes away all the extra work. And that's what I'm trying to do with anything that I do, is that if there's a bunch of extra work that doesn't need to really be done, like humping those bins up and down those things was a lot of work. So I think this is a good direction for me. You're like we're a couple steps behind your government at this point as far as Trudeau and what he's doing. He's not even really a government. I feel like most people would. I don't even. But anyway, yeah, we're just a couple steps behind them trying to take all our guns and stuff. You guys are I don't know. It's crazy. That's good. It's good, clean land. You could do it with a shade cloth. You could do it with a tarp system outside, probably. It's probably better, or in a thicket of trees with covers. So build boxes. You don't even need to use the bag. You could build wooden boxes. And I think, like, the winter you might need to fit. That's when you might need a barn. It's like they're gonna have to figure out the summer heat. Hopefully, and the winter I think they'll be a lot. They'll provide the depth of them will hopefully be deep. Is how I'm planning it. Will hopefully keep some warmth in. So yeah, I got 2 more bags coming. I'm gonna split this one up and slow it down a little bit and try to get back on a 6-month pace. So, but yeah, I got a piece of papaya. I still think the bag system is good, depending on what the basement's like. It could be. This one's almost done. This is a what's it called? Whiskey barrel. Sorry, my hands are disgusting from the worms. They're not disgusting. They're just all dirty. Screws. This is whiskey barrel with it's called Alabama Damascus. This came out really nice. I'm not going to use this to cut. Right now I'm modifying. I'll have this done today. I'm modifying a Swiss Army knife, putting nice canvas micarta. Thinking about switching the liner out. But this is a knife I carry a lot, actually. Just a little slip joint. So I just want to make it my own. So I'm going to swap out. They were all pinned. I'm going to use a pin in the center still. But I'm going to use 1/8" pivots at each end, which should work just fine. Actually, I might have to open this a little bit. Yeah, I got to watch that. I got to think about that. Yeah, but slip joints are super simple. I might start making some of these. And all you're doing is you're springing this back, so it's teetering. Grab a knife. Let me just get these worms done. I get distracted. Nice, ripe papaya. I got so many seeds built up right now, and still so many papayas out there. Look at that thing. I mean, they're so good. I've eaten so many of them now. This is perfectly ripe. You pull these seeds out. Every one of these is viable. All right, so just go in here with one of them. I'm gonna flip this back down. This is some of the worms missing. This is just a random spot that I have not dug in. This stuff is fluffy. It smells very nice in here too. So this one here was mostly eggs, and there's a lot of beautiful worms in here. They'll flatten this back out a little bit more. I'm going to be getting a new phone again. This one's a piece of shh. Look at that. Mesmerized. That's like the rind of a papaya. So I'll just take this one. All I do is I don't bury it all the way even. I just put it right at the level. And what it does, feeding them on the top, just allows them to come to the top. Probably going to throw a little bit more scraps in there. I mean, not scraps. My feed, chow, whatever you want to call it. There's some good worms right there. So this is my bulk one. Let's go. This hasn't been dug at. Let's just see what this looks like. That's just the side. I'm just going to keep going down this side, and let's just see how far. Oh, there are a lot of worms. And there's still worms down there. This is deep. This is casted already. That's what it's supposed to be. It's pretty packed in. Yeah, this stuff is great. That's done. I got a few of those $1,000 birds still going too. I got one in there. But yeah, this is the watch burying them too deep because they don't want to be down there. This is a nice, happy bin, beautiful smell to it. I mean, it smells like heaven. So we're just gonna dig a little hole right here. Just flip them back. These guys will jump on this. If I went live in an hour, that thing would look like just a crazy. So let's do that. Let's give them another scoop of feed. Where's that at? Just because fat worms. I'll send my robot that will hologram me, and I'll come help you. I'll teleport a sack. My teleport system's not ready for humans yet, so I'll send my robot, and it'll hologram me out, and I'll help you. You know? That neem meal. Very good stuff. If you're having problems with bugs, I would suggest running a little bit of neem. You get a little bit of water coming out the bottom. I don't care. I'm in a shop. 1 second. Having something on very nice too. So we're going just like this. And I already hosed it down. Perfect. All right, that was already hosed down. I just wet the feed into it. Done. That's another thing that I've been doing that's working very well too. I'm looking at them right now as an electric, if I can find a good one, is like one of those little electric lifts that could do pallet jacks, but be able to lift stuff like this pretty high and not just load it with a pallet. You know? I mean, even if I had 10 right there, it's 10 is 20-something thousand pounds of castings. Like, it's just amazing. 10 bags of these. Just a crazy number to look at. Yeah, I have thought about doing that. Maybe doing it on one of those, what are they called? I'm having a brain fart. The U-shaped things on wheels so you can lift things. Like, I'd love to have one to lift this bed off. That would be nice. Yeah, that's my everyday. Those two. All right, so I'm gonna just wrap these up. I let them sit for a second. I'm lying. There are 2 flies in here. They're probably from the papaya that was sitting over there and pretty much going to rot. So I'm not gonna blame these, but there is a fly right there. That's how. Be honest. If you're gonna be anything in life, be honest. But there are normally no flies. And to keep, that's the other thing that I've been doing. One second. Right now, you can see it in action. Those are castings that I maintain, and not a car lift. It's a. I was just looking at them the other day. I don't know. A car lift would be sick, but I'd want something hoist. I forget. But yeah, so that's castings. So they seem to be working well. The only little bit of a downside is with urine. It doesn't clump up. Urine clumps up on a lot of those cat litters, so I'm trying to figure that out. But zero smell. So if I had a litter box out here, and I was running it the way I'm running this, it would be the most horrific smell. This has zero smell. So I tried and did it with worms in the bin, and I had brought 2 cats. It can almost handle the piss and the shit if you do it right. But 4 cats, their brother and sister I brought over, and then all of a sudden they killed the whole worm bin. So the castings seem to work pretty well. So yes, there's quite a bit of money of castings in there, but I produce it myself, and it seems to look at that poop coming out of the cat's butt. Look at that. There you go, dude. He's just putting on a show. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is not made for kids, so anything like that, man, sorry, it's just live. Cat's running the. Good tig. Good tig. So yeah, castings can be used, and they don't mind it damp. I wet that pretty. I'm gonna shut this door in a minute and wet that. Live action. These guys are crazy out here. Really are great cats. Or the other brother and sister that are at the neighbor's house. But yeah, there's a couple birds in that cage there. These guys are gonna get let out in a minute. Everybody else doing good? Anybody need? Is there anything I can help anybody with? Appreciate you stopping by. Maybe I'll show you a couple knives real quick. Remy, come on inside. Come on. What are you doing out there? She's like an all right shop dog, but when she wants to go, she wants to go. She wants to go in the pool. That's what she wants me to let her go in the pool. So yeah, no more worm bins. Show you a couple things I'm working on. All right. So yeah, these are a few. This one here. These are all work in progress. This is Westinghouse. This is a pretty cool material. Pretty rare. Getting harder and harder to get. This material here. This is a rubber carbon fiber. Does not get made anymore. Again, these are all work in progress. The good screws aren't on it right now. They're all just in process. None of them are done. This one here is probably going to get ground today. This is what I was thinking about doing my production. So, and this is going to be. This is already this. That's just my car to handle. Again, not rounded. All these they're for. I'm going to start building inventory for a show. This is kind of the direction. So like all these are the same blade essentially, the shape, but all the handles are a little bit different. I'm trying to figure out how to do the handles. This is going to go a lot thinner, but this is kind of. I don't know. They look different when they don't have a handle on them. It's really deceiving. I do like this style here with this handle, that shape. Looks very nice. And this is going to get a clip. Like this little clip right here brings it to the tip. It gives it like a nice aggressive look. This is going to get reblasted and everything. This one's almost done. This just needs a reblast and tumble. Later, Viking. It's a nice finish. That's an acid stonewash finish. So, yeah, this is another one too. So this is Cocoa Bola. This is a really good wood. Very oily is my take on it. And then this one here is going here. This is ironwood. This was given to me by my cousin. I cut that up yesterday. That was a whole piece of wood. So I took these to the bandsaw. You got to keep them in because you want a bookmark style opening. So this is this is ironwood. So is this. Took them out of this one. This one here, they got to go back together like a puzzle, and I think I have it back together. I don't know if this one actually might go there. Yeah, I don't know. Handles glued up. It's called carbon quartz. This is just a backing to keep it flat, but it's being glued to yellow liners. This stuff's pretty cool. That's really nice too, actually. I might ask him. This is Melvin's. I might ask him if I could have this. That'd be a really nice piece. That is very, very nice. He might let me have that. It's like 4 knives if I wanted to. These are all different screw sets that I'm getting ready. Some of them are already set for That's like one of the things you got to figure out and do all the math on and figure out the holes that you're going to open it up for. But these are ones that I already had. I'm putting, this set right here. So this is a titanium pivot, which is the barrel, and then you have 2 screws, one on each side, machined. These are titanium, which is not a normal screw material. Reason you want it to, or I like it being titanium, is that I can anodize it very easily in house. It's a lot easier than like aluminum. Titanium is really strong too, so it's a good material. But really, it's being able to customize it. So yeah, this set right here, titanium, is $12. So 2 screws and a pivot, high spec, really nice shit, is $12. Just this set. Then you got to have at least 2 other screws, which are smaller. They're not as bad, but they're titanium also. So yeah, these are a bunch of it. This is pretty cool. This is a face mill, really nice one. This Westinghouse is, it's very old. They used to use it. It's a material that they used to use on for a bunch of different things, but on washers and dryers as like a to make things look good. I don't know. It was just mass produced. It's a micarta. It's a Westinghouse micarta. But you mill it from below, and then you leave the patina on the top. So there's like this oranging that you get when you round it, and you try to keep the center of it. Again, this is all just mock-up. This is not. I could finish this knife at this point right here. This knife could be done in an hour and a half, super easy. But yeah. So what was I saying? Whatever. Pretty thin knife, nice grind. Again, it's going to get its nice swedge. That's the relief to sharpen up to. I usually want to go a little thinner on the edge, but that's a pretty thin edge. So that's going to be a nice one. And the finishes that I'm going to do on that are going to be pretty cool. That's to come. This I want to do real quick today. This is which I might not be able to do it today because I don't have the right. I need to go one step smaller on the pivot. Because if I open these holes, this sits on one of the pin on that. I'd have to figure out a way to get that. I guess I could turn this down to this size actually. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I'll just turn this down to 140 on the lathe. Oh, pivot. See the threads in there? Little screws. They're not the smallest. These are pretty small that we deal with. This is a 256. Torx. That's a T8 Torx head. Do I upsell many knives? What do you mean by upsell? Do I sell many knives? Do you mean just sell them? Not as many as I'd like. Like that folder that I have. So the programming's done for a bunch of my folders. I just have to get a time to go over to the machine and run them. Like the folder that I finished the other day that I posted, that sold instantly. That sold in a couple hours. So it seems like there are some people that want my shit. I'm just not. There's a few things happening. I'm not going to get into the details, but they're coming. And on a production level for someone like that, the knife that I'm, the Shepherd, that's hopefully going to be production. I'm going to figure out a few more things to make it achievable faster so I can produce more of them and bring the price down. And then do a couple different model fixed blades, which I really prefer to do. I enjoy doing fixed blades. But really, I think it's me not producing enough because I'm doing other stuff because it makes me more money faster. So I don't do what I should be doing. Or it's just fixing a problem that will cost more than what I'm worth, so I go fix that. That's what I do. A lot of that. I do that. I can't possibly imagine paying that price, and I can do it. I just have to take the time to do it because I don't make enough an hour to allow somebody to take all that money every hour. Some hours I have really good, but I've been working a little later. Yeah. But yeah, I do sell. I've sold quite a few knives now, and I've worked on a lot of knives with the guy I work with. So I've worked on a lot of his knives that I don't even count in my numbers. So I've helped a lot along the way with his. So, but there's going to be some good things to come. But then you go back to that government shit, and it's just like, what the fuck is the point? At this wild fucking this world is just insane right now, and all they want is you to feed the machine. Give us taxes. Give us money. Money. Give us more money. Work for free is where we're gonna be, right? So I don't know. I'm also just a hippie at this point. Proud of it. This is an older, refinished knife that was pinned. I just added screws now. I really like doing these screws. This is a kitchen. This is a paring knife. I've given a lot. I've donated a lot of knives. I'm donating another one. I just did one for a buddy of mine that has cancer, happily. I've donated, last year I donated 2 or 3. I give dudes knives that don't have the money, and I just kind of spot them a knife. So, yeah, exactly. Peace. It doesn't need to be like peace and like the love. Like, everybody doesn't need to love each other. But we're at the point where we're getting played out by the people that we've put in charge of us, or not even in charge of us, in charge of like certain aspects of our society, and they're just overreaching their power. So now we're at this point that like none of the numbers work out. You know, it's crazy to think that we're working almost for free at this point with the taxes that we're paying. And some people are killing it and they're making a ton of money. The thing with the glues and the resins, they crack very easily. You could probably pull off an epoxy that's hard enough to do it. I do have a few ways. I do have the tools to make. But like, this is epoxy. This is a resin-based micarta. So this one's burlap. You see the burlap in there? And then they layer that, and you get micarta. So, I mean, this essentially is epoxy resin. If you just did like, you ever did a clear epoxy, just like a clear one, see-through. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I wonder. I don't know. I wonder how that would work. Like, detail the inside of the handle, like all inside here. Do some work so you can see it. But yeah, today's Sunday. I'm gonna get a bunch of work done. All these screws are sick. These ones are stainless. These are all titanium. Hey, little guy. Hey, little guy. Hello, little guy. This one's an interesting. So what I can do with this is I put it on a special fixture, and I actually use a drill, a DeWalt drill. And I put this on this fixture, spin it in reverse to the threads, and they've made it deep enough, the Torx, it's hard to see because this camera's a piece of crap, but there's a Torx in the center, that I can dome this to the torque, and that looks really sick on the knife. So yeah, that is that one. This is a cool one too. This is titanium. $12. Now, if you want one of these with zirconium, that's $25 for the set. Zirconium's sick, though. You can really get a nice black out of it. It's a very nice material to work with. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I feel like right now I'm like one of those these fucking weird lives that people are selling like squishy toys, and it looks like people are. It's either they're faking it so good to try to catch the weak-minded people that are buying fucking a bag of squishy toys for an exorbitant amount of price, but I feel like I'm like trying to sell you like jewelry right now. Like, check this diamond out. You see, this is a diamond. It's actually a piece of glass. Like, actually, this is a cool one. Let me show you this one. This is not mine. I still have the shark in it. But it was a gift given to me. That's Alabama, Damascus. This is that Westinghouse up there. This is like a finished. And you see, this isn't as old. The older the Westinghouse, the more of this orange you get down the center when you round it. Like if you look at it, it's convex. Like I had to refinish this. The blade is carbon, and it's need some oil. The blade is carbon steel down here in Florida. That for some reason it kept rusting. This was given to me as a gift, and I ended up having to resand it like 3 or 4 times, and then I just gave up because of the finish that I kept trying to do. And then I did my new finish on them. That's Superman. It's a Superman finish, and it's a really good way to deal with Damascus. It's the same finish I did on that fixed blade. Yeah, we do. I do that as much spot. Yeah, but it's like, Vincent, me and you would fucking be able to barter every single day. Like, me and you have enough value probably around us that me and you we have shit that we want. I've done that, like, offer that as like a real way to pay me. Like, if you have something, then there's a possibility that we can make a trade. But it's like, they show up with fucking a bracelet or something like that they made out of fucking plastic beads. And they're like, yeah, I want to trade this for that fucking plant that you spent time and money curating, you know? So it's like, if that would truly work, then everybody needs to like pick something and have it. We were going to this market, which is a beautiful market. It's very nice. We donate to a church because we use their property. We don't donate. We're paying for the space. But you know what's happened is that I showed up. I did a lot of research on plants and stuff like that. I showed up and I sold everybody plants. Right, sold a lot of plants. Me and my wife. We a lot of edible perennial plants that do really well in Florida that not everybody was tracking. I sold everybody the plants and told them all how to propagate them for very easily. And now they're all selling the same plants. That's what happens. You know. Is what I'm seeing, and that knee, foot on the neck. They see there, and somebody said it. I'm repeating it. Is that like I prefer to be an outlaw. You know, I'm not, and not all outlaws are criminals, and there's a big difference to that. It's like I'm so fucking sick of their frivolous, unconstitutional, tyrannical laws that are really just a tax, and if you don't pay it, we're gonna come shoot your dog and take your shit. So I mean, that's just where we're at. Yeah, fucking get my blood pressure up. Get my fucking blood pressure up. But yeah, pretty much everything's the same in here. Show you some of my. This is a cool one. This is called Damascus. Look at that blade. It's called Shipwreck. Knives that he has in the works. It's a really cool carbon fiber. I've used that before too. I have some of that. A couple of his designs. He's an excellent knife maker. Another one. That one. Show up. But all right, I think I'm gonna get out of here. I appreciate you guys. My dog is probably eating grass. Remy. Why are you licking your lips? But, all right, I will catch you guys later. I appreciate the conversation, guys, honestly. Vincent, you guys stay strong. I'm gonna let the cats out for a few hours while it's still pretty cool. Actually, I'll do that real quick. They're funny. Even with that, it does get warm in here, but they could deal with it, honestly, at least right now. I just prefer, I put them up in the, lounging. That's Tito. That's Tig. I want them to be barn cats, but I just love them both so much, so I don't know. Yeah, I know. They're really cool cats. But there's some seepage. Yeah, I'm gonna shut this up. Another view. I don't know what they weigh right now. They're heavy. I really don't. Take it easy, guys. I appreciate you. Let me know if you need anything at all. You can just drop something in a comment. I'd be happy to help you. Later.